Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of It's All Happening with me, your host, Madeline Hewitt. I don't know what is going on. It is the middle of summertime, but I am starting to feel a little sick. I'm moving very slow this morning. My head is all stuffed up. I don't know if we're going to be able to hear it in my voice, but just know that it's been a bit of a struggle this morning. And everyone that has been watching on YouTube, you've been able to slowly see my apartment fall apart as I get ready to move. And as you can see, I am actually starting to pack up boxes, which is just so crazy to me. And I've decided that I'm pretty much going to sell everything I have. I'm trying to move with the notion of if it doesn't fit in my car, I can't take it. Because right now I'm thinking that I'm going to put as much as I can into my car, drive my car up there, and then sell my car in Chicago. I don't it's a lot. I'm having to get rid of so many things that I love and have like gathered over the years to like create my space, which is really emotional in and of itself. Just moving, leaving my friends, getting rid of all my stuff, like the thought of selling my car is so emotional. I don't know. It's just all. It's been a rough week. I'm a little sad. I'm way sadder than I thought I would be. And like, I'm not even moving yet. Like, I still have 6 more weeks. I'm just moving home to my parents' house for those 6 weeks. And I'm way sadder than I thought I would be. And it's caused me to kind of start to second guess my decision. Like, I found myself a lot recently thinking in my head, like, am I doing the right thing? Am I moving to the right place? Am I going to be happy? Am I going to find friends that are nearly as good as this? Like, could I be happy just staying in Atlanta? Why am I leaving? Like, this feels unnecessary. Like, I've had so many of these like racing, doubting thoughts running through my head. And it's gotten me thinking about making decisions and how to make good decisions and how to know if you're making a good decision. And I think so much of making decisions and whether or not they turn out to be right versus wrong isn't as much about the decision that you're making as it is about the follow up to that decision. You have to make a decision and back yourself 100%. You can't be sitting here 1 foot out the door, waffling back and forth, second guessing yourself. You have to make the decision and run with it. Like, nothing works if you're 1 foot in or 1 foot out. No relationship works if you're 1 foot out the door. Moving cities doesn't work if you're 1 foot out the door. Changing jobs doesn't work if you're 1 foot out the door. Dealing with your family doesn't work if you're 1 foot out the door. Things work best when you are both feet in, ready to move forward, full steam ahead, and just back yourself 100%. Put all of you into the decision that you're making. And I firmly believe that everything happens for a reason. There's no denying that there are undeniably bad decisions, right? Doing math, bad decision. But when it comes to whether or not you should move states, whether or not you should take the job, whether or not you should stay in the relationship, like, I don't know that there's always a right or wrong decision there. Like, this is life. You have to make these hard decisions. Go with your gut, flip a coin, make a pros and cons list. It doesn't matter how you get to this point, just make the decision, make the choice. Because, like I'm saying, the choice isn't as important as how you follow up your choice. Whatever you decide, dive headfirst into it. Believe in yourself, back yourself, trust yourself 100%. You have to do the work to make the decision that you make the best decision possible. Because it could go two directions, right? I could go up to Chicago and I could have all of these racing negative thoughts in my head, and I could be thinking to myself as I get up there, it's just a year. I'm only here for a year. It's not a big deal. I can always go back to Atlanta. Like, home is always waiting for me. I could come back to Atlanta 8, 9, 10 times in a year, and I could never really dive into my experience in Chicago. I could never really see the necessary reason to build a network there and build a friendships there and really dive into my life there. Or I could go up to Chicago and say, okay, I've made this decision. I'm here right now. I am going to dive into this experience and see what can happen. I'm going to make my friends. I'm going to push myself outside of my comfort zone. I'm going to get the most that I can out of this experience and then see what happens. And ultimately, that is what I want out of this experience. So I have to stop second guessing myself. I've made this decision. I know deep down that I'm happy with the decision that I've made. And now I just have to move forward full steam ahead and get the absolute most out of this decision that I've made. And like I said, everything happens for a reason. Even if everything doesn't turn out butterflies and sunshine and rainbows, like what can you learn from that choice that you made? What can you learn from that experience that you've had? What can you take away from the choice and the decisions that you made that can make it better next time? I truly do believe that there is something to learn, something to take away, something to experience from everything in life. And if you choose to look at it from that perspective, there really is no bad decision. Like I said, there are some undeniably bad ones. We are not talking about those kinds of decisions. My friends and I say all the time that delusional optimism is the only way to live life. And I truly do believe that so much of dream chasing and success and happiness comes from having a healthy dose of delusional optimism about life. I don't know how. I don't know when. I don't know the details, but I do know that everything is going to work out for me in life. And how do I know that? Because I believe in myself. More than anything else, I believe in me. I got me. I am going to be okay. And so much of that comes from so much of that like self confidence and trusting in yourself. And I've talked about this before on the podcast, but so much of that building self-confidence and building self-belief, and it comes from making these hard decisions in life, right? It comes from making these hard decisions and then backing yourself in those hard decisions, because you're proving to yourself that you trust your intuition, you trust your gut, and that no matter what, you are going to be there. Whether things go good or whether things go bad, you are always going to be there for you. And that breeds a certain level of self-confidence, self-belief, trust in yourself. Like it makes these scary decisions seem a lot less scary when you truly do believe that I got me and everything's going to work out exactly how it's supposed to work out. The moral of the story is you just have to choose. The choice isn't like the peak of the mountain. This isn't the pinnacle of what we're after. The choice is just the very first step. But when we're in the moment and we're having to make this decision or make this choice, it really does feel like it is the most monumental moment sometimes. Like I can't come to a decision on this choice. Like I can't decide what's right and what's wrong. I don't know. I could go this way, I could go that way. Things could go bad if I do this, things could go good if I do this. Like I just don't know what I'm supposed to do. You just need to choose. Make the choice. Stop waffling back and forth. Whatever you choose, whatever you decide, either way that you go, you have to make the choice. And the success that follows after, or the happiness, or just the overall outcome of the decision comes from the work that you do afterwards. How deeply do you grasp a hold of this decision? How much do you put your back and your weight behind this decision? How much do you believe in you to make this decision as good as possible as it can be for you? Stop stressing step one. Stop stressing it. Just take a step. So flip the coin, make the list, trust your gut, just choose, and then go after it with all of your power and watch what happens.